Hello, and welcome back to another session of Therapy and Panels where it's our 1 year anniversary. Okay, technically the 1 year anniversary was a few days ago, but this is still coinciding with it, so I'm gonna make it count. And due to that, I figured we would do a little spin-off thing of a celebration from the very first video I did of Just Imagine Stan Lee Creates Batman. This time with Robin.
We all know Robin. He is the founder of the term sidekick, for crying out loud. Over the years, Batman has had multiple young children wearing the brightly colored outfit, my personal favorite being Dick Grayson. Don't get me wrong, I love the guy. He has grown into his own person with Nightwing. It's just comparing to the other Robins, he has always been my personal favorite. From the cover alone, you can already tell a major difference. They ideally made him a way older, I'm guessing early 20s, and definitely not brightly colored. In fact, he kind of reminds me of Daredevil from the first season of Netflix than what you would think of with the superhero Robin. We begin the story back in LA on a rooftop where Batman is currently locked in a heated rooftop brawl with Robin. Yep, Batman versus Robin.
Wow, that hasn't been a thing before. Probably difference is this time Batman's probably thinking to himself, why is this kid attacking me? He won't answer. All I get is just those emo stares.
To make matters worse, Robin's fighting style is pretty effective, even using grappling hooks and other gadgets to take Batman out mid-glide like he's trying to win a Batman kite flying contest. Eventually, Batman's just like, alright, enough of this, and drags Robin up to a rooftop for some good old-fashioned answers. But just as he's about to interrogate the acrobatic kid, a police chase breaks out nearby.
Because of course there is. While Gotham may be crime central, LA is really trying to get up there.
Batman, being the world's most distracted vigilante, rushes off like a bat out of hell. Robin tries to follow, but sadly hasn't unlocked the wingsuit DLC yet, so he is struggling to keep up. He gets distracted by an actual Robin bird hanging around, and like any emotional, complex backstory, this triggers a flashback. It turns out Robin was abandoned at an orphanage as when he was a baby. The caretakers named him Robin because one of the birds literally perched by his crib whenever he was asleep. And apparently, this is a genius level prodigy because by 2 months old, he's apparently already walking, talking, and probably calculating pi to the 1,000th digit at this point. The flashback ends with a visit from Reverend Dark, a reoccurring figure from these Just Imagine Stan Lee books, who basically gives Robin his starter quest to assassinate Batman. But plot twist, he's told to put the Bat Hut on hold and instead go rob some jewelry from people labeled as evil. Robin has doubts, but Reverend Dark gaslights him harder than a reality show villain. When Robin tries to ask questions, he's hit with the "that's above your pay grade" line and sent off to nap like an obedient super assassin in training. Later triggered by yet another Robin sighting. Seriously, is this bird stalking him? We dive back into Robin's moody childhood. He wasn't an outcast per se, kids tried to befriend him, but he always gave off the "leave me alone, I'm brooding" type of vibes. Naturally, he never got adopted, but he does recall a girl who was, and cue Dark arriving with more shady assignments. Next mission, rob a bank. Robin takes a security guard hostage.
Because nothing screams Robin Hood quite like armed robbery.
Coincidentally, Wayne Williams, this universe's Batman, is also at this bank. I'm guessing trying to surround himself with the situation before doing anything. While in the vault, a group of employees hears the chaos, and one curious girl heads up to investigate. Robin and the girls lock eyes, and dun dun dun, it's Beth, a former orphanage intern and Robin's secret crush. Seeing Beth, Robin decides maybe this heist isn't worth the therapy bills, so he bails. Later that night, Batman, probably still annoyed about being a yo-yo off a roof, talks to Beth, gets the scoop, and suits up for round 2. Meanwhile, Robin reminisces about Beth, then shifts into intense self-improvement montage, studying martial arts, presumably by watching every Bruce Lee movie 12 times, and the thought that one Christmas, some sketchy representative takes interest in Robin. Eventually, at 18, he leaves the orphanage immediately, gets jumped by a gang, and beats them up like it's just cardio. Back in the present, Robin heads to the Church of Empowerment, which sounds more like a self-help seminar than a villain lair, when Batman shows up and, surprise, injects him with some truth serum.
Because nothing screams communication like drugging someone mid-fight.
And finally gets all his memory back and realizes he was conned harder than a tourist in Times Square, as after fighting the sensei who clearly graduated from the Cobra Kai School of Villainy and getting a job as a martial arts instructor, he received a note one day by Reverend Dark stating he could help him find his parents. Batman, doing his best Dr. Phil impression, convinces him it was a load of bull, and Robin, now fueled by vengeance and embarrassment, agrees to help Bats. They sneak into the church, but like clockwork, they are surrounded by Dark's disciples, who apparently skipped subtlety class. But thankfully, a random woman at the church hears the commotion and calls the cops. With the police on their way, the bad guys scatter faster than a high school party with a noise complaint. And once things calm down, Batman gives Robin the old "join me, and together we'll bring justice to the galaxy, blah blah blah." But Robin declines, saying, "Nah, I'm good. I've got to find my parents' side quest to finish." And thus the issue ends with Batman left up on the rooftop, probably wondering if he should just start interviewing sidekicks through LinkedIn.
With that, that is the end of the issue, and for my diagnosis,
When comparing him to how well the original Robin goes, Robin's stuff, a lot of the original Robin's thing works way better, but when it comes to just a lot of his stuff, like, I don't know. I'm not saying that they both have to have this all 100% things. There's just something about things like this Robin being such a child prodigy that he can talk and walk at 2 months old, which, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, I'm pretty sure that's not possible. I don't know. I've never been the parent of a child or had to raise a 2-month-old, so I could be wrong on that, I admit. And just a lot of this stuff just seems kind of weirdly paced, and some things don't make sense. This Dark guy has all these powers, but he just decides, I'm just gonna let this random kid do all my dirty work to rob banks. I mean, at this point, I feel like he could just conjure up all the money he wants in the world, but what the heck do I know? Excuse me. And not to mention the sudden reveal of Batman having truth serum, like, what the heck? But I will say the finding his parents would be a nice little arc storyline thing for if they ever had this be a continued series, but I know they didn't. But so all in all, it's a meh.
And with that, that is the end of today's session. Thank you all for attending Therapy and Panels. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I am the Super Guru, signing off, and hoping for another year and many more to come of the channel.